Welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make arbitrary nodes draggable in JavaFX. And for that we will use the JFXtras library. Here is the sample application that we are trying to build. It contains a window control, and the window control contains lots of rectangles. And I can drag the rectangles around. And there is some problem with making nodes draggable when you want to apply transformations like scaling. And this is what we do here. Maybe you saw the videos about scalable content panes and scaled window controls. And to demonstrate this, I'm going to scale the rectangles down. And if I now drag a rectangle, you will notice that the rectangle and the mouse pointer are no longer in sync. And this is because the local velocity of the rectangle and its global scene velocity are different when you apply transformations. And when you look at code snippets you'll find on the internet about making nodes draggable, then most of them do not solve this problem. And when I created the window control, I had this scaling stuff in mind, and I considered that. And actually in JavaFX it's not really difficult to do these kinds of computations. And so I decided to make this available as a method in the JFXtras labs library, so you can use it for any node, and you can just call a method. It's called make draggable, and you give it the node as parameter. Okay, so you've seen what we are trying to build, and actually in the version that we are trying to build, this scaling problem here, that the mouse pointer is not in sync with the rectangle, yeah, this will be solved because I've just prepared the example here to have this problem, because the method you're going to use will solve this already. Okay, so now here you see the sample application. At the moment it just contains a scalable content pane as in the last video, and we just apply some background gradient to its content pane that we will use as root pane in this example. So if I run this application now, it should just give me an empty scene. This is what you get. Okay, so to make a rectangle draggable, we just have to define a shape. We create a new rectangle. It could be a circle as well. We say something like, yeah, size of 50/50, and then we are going to add this to the root pane. Shape. That's it. If I run the application now, okay, you can hardly see it. I'll give it some different style. We just change the stroke here. Now it should be visible. Okay, here you see the rectangle and I can't do anything. It's quite boring. Now we make it draggable by using the mouse control utility class. And we call the method make draggable. Okay, that's it. We run the application again. And now you see I can nicely drag the rectangle around. And it's really just one line of code. And I could of course change this here. I could use a circle, for example, with a radius of, let's say, 25. And also the circle can be dragged around, and it can be done with actually any node. Okay, so what we do now, we add lots of rectangles, and for that I'll just paste the code because I'm lazy. And I have to change it a bit. What happens here? First we define some offset from the top left top corner, and we define a gap between the rectangles. Remember the grid that you saw at the beginning of this tutorial. And we define a rectangle size. And here in these for loops, we create rectangles. We define the fill and stroke, and then we set its location. And here is this make draggable call. Okay, run the application, and we should now see this grid. And this is resizable too. The scalable content pane is responsible for applying the transformations here. Seems to work nicely. So now what happens if we add this to a window control that has its own scalable content pane? I'll paste some code again. Here you see that we define another scalable content pane, window content. We create a window control, and we define the minimum size of the window content to be 200 by 200, and then we set the content pane here. And all we have to do is to change this line here. We add the rectangles not to the root pane, but we add it now to the window content. And sorry, we want to get the content pane of the window content, get the children, and add the shape to that. And then we should have all the shapes inside the window. And that's it. You see, we have this window control. We still can drag the rectangles around. And you see, it also nicely rescales. And if I change the size of the window, it'll also change. And also if I change the size of the application, then I can also rescale everything. And still, I can drag the rectangles around without any problem. I hope you liked the tutorial. You can download the sample project. It contains a version of JFXtras Labs library that works for exactly the code you have seen in the video. And yeah, it's a lab project, and the source code and the API may change, and actually the source code of the control utility class is not really good at the moment, and I'm still starting to explore JavaFX. I did a lot of swing programming in the last few years, and JavaFX still feels new to me. So if you want to make suggestions or you'd like to improve the code, just drop me a line or create a pull request on GitHub or something. A few words on scaling user interfaces. I think it's really important to get the event handling right. So if you use your own code for making nodes draggable or resizable, then you should look at the local to scene transformation properties in JavaFX, and I think we have really such a good opportunity to make stunning user interfaces with JavaFX for touch devices. For example, we could use pinch to zoom gestures and everything like that. And also, I don't know if you heard of it, but JavaFX will get a complete 3D API, so you can actually add 3D objects, and then it's also very important that you get transformations right. Yeah, that's it. See you soon.